I couldn't believe it. I thought they were trying to kill me, and I couldn't tell them that. I had to, sounds good, let's do this, you know, because I got so upset when they said we're going to send you back to Iraq. I just could not believe it that they were going to send me back to the hell, and it was very clear to me the way they felt about me. And I thought to myself, how am I ever going to outdo what I did the last time I went to Iraq? This was my 5th time, actually. Nobody else been to Iraq 5 times. When I got my Bronze Star, usually when you get a Bronze Star, I was the only one to get a Bronze Star that year. They usually have an admiral or something come and give it. It was, most of the command was not there the day I got my Bronze Star. And the reservist commander gave it to me. And it was, I knew exactly what was going on. No one, I mean, they did not like me. It's basically because I'm a second class that just got a Bronze Star and Purple Heart. And I took it personal. I took it very personal, and it started like eating away at my soul. So anyway, they send me to Iraq, and here I'm like, okay, I've got to go. I suck it up. And I'm like, what can I do? And I'd always wanted to start something really big. I always wanted to start a program in Iraq. And I've always thought about this, teaching them how to govern themselves. I mean, it goes against why we're there. You know, if they can govern themselves, if they can photograph their own history, why are we there? So they got mad at me, even though the Iraqis loved it. And our commanders loved it. And all my chain of command that was in country loved it. Because they got all meritorious service medals and everything. So this program that I started, I got translators, I got profiling, and the structure of the training, everything, and gave the first training course to the Iraqi police force on how to do combat photography. And so it was the biggest thing I ever did in the Navy. It was the most way out of the second class realm of anything when you come up with a program and initiate it and develop it and design it. And I even designed a patch that had the IFCA, which is basically the plane. It's a photography thing. It's the plane of light comes in, it flips on itself, so it's 2 V's that go like this type thing. Anyway, that's the IFCA. And then I put the Eye of Ra in it, which basically, and then is a symbol from the all-seeing. So I thought it was a perfect symbol. Anyway, so I created the patch also that they would get, and we had their first graduation ceremony. Their commanders were there, and I put the patch on each individual, shook their hands, gave them a certificate, took a picture. The Iraqi news was there for it. So this was something really huge. Come back to the States after doing all that, and they basically were like, who do you think you are doing something like that? And they sent me because I got so upset with them. At this point, I basically was going to let them know, you're bullshit. And you're like, this is ridiculous. And I started opening my mouth when I shouldn't. I was basically saying, why are y'all doing this to me? There's something wrong with me, and y'all are just da-da-da. So they sent me to MCAST, which is meritorious something. God, I forgot the damn acronym. Anyway, MCAST is where I went to be a public affair officer, but it turned back on them because they put me in charge of a public affair position. So I directly was doing all my communication with the captain. So they thought they're pushing me away, and I actually did great things there. I developed some programs there in 2 months. But then Haiti happened. I have had no rest from my first tour to Iraq. Haiti happens during the middle of that. They pull me out of MCAST, and they send me to Haiti as the first teams in Haiti to go to more death and destruction. And while I'm there, I got married between the months between Iraq the second time and Haiti. So here I am married, and my wife is pregnant. So I'm in Haiti, and she's due within weeks of me coming back. And anyway, I get back, and within 4 days of getting back, she has the baby. But I came back for another reason. So I flew to Georgia to see my dad, make sure see he was okay, spent some time with him, and then I flew back to Washington or to Norfolk. But the funny thing is, they were trying to send me back to Haiti, and at this point, this Master Chief basically became a good person because he knew I had been through some shit, and you can't do that to him. He's about to have a child. God forbid. We've already sent him. So it was like, because I had a talk with this Master Chief one-on-one. I said, I feel I'm done. The Navy has used me to every extreme. I'm done. I can't do it anymore. And I think he realized what had happened to me. Like, he was the type that never got to know me as me. He always got to know me through his first classes, who were jealous and peers. And when you listen to a bunch of first classes who are jealous of a second class doing great work, it's not always the truth. So I was bottling a lot up, putting it all in the reserves of my brain. Every time I got more awards, every time I won something else, people hated me more. And it wasn't hated me. They were just jealous. So jealous that if they were first class above me, they were so jealous they knew they could keep me down by just being a first class. Frantom, do this, stay late, do this. Huh, think you're something, And it became very hard because I'm not used to being such a go-getter and such a good sailor, but being treated, I'm used to working hard and getting treated accordingly. I mean, I was a civilian, and in a civilian sector, you do good work, you get recognized for it, you move up. In the Navy, it's not that. It's personal. It's very personal. I mean, if I could have just buckled down and studied for tests and taken a bunch of tests, I'd have done fine in the Navy. I'd have stayed in the Navy. But I thought doing a good job and being the best you can is the way to be, and that's not the case in the Navy. After go to Haiti, get back, I only have maybe 2 months at the command. I re-enlist, which I don't know if I should have, but I re-enlisted, and I knew the only way I could keep going up was to go instruct and teach, and I'd really fallen in love with that, and I love talking to and helping sailors that haven't experienced so much, and give them like pointers on how not to let things happen. So I really wanted to instruct. And when I moved to DC, they said, I remember the detailer, she said, I can get you to DC to the media center. And it's not the media center anymore. It's, whatever, media activity. Though it has a changed name, it won't affect you. And from there, I can get you to DC, you can, wheel and deal and work your way like you did before. So I get there, and they did not want me teaching because of combat camera. The chiefs talk, chiefs get together and they talk about people that they don't know, and they didn't want me there. And so I ended up just staying at all hands again, which was great, because what happened is I was like, okay, if I'm at all hands, I'm going to do the best job possible. And I was still dealing with stuff. And during the middle of the first year is when I've had my first episode, because I was bottling so much stress up. And I was staying up on hours of the nights. I was going and traveling a lot and doing stories again. I went to SEER school again and did another story. I mean, it's the third time I've been there. I was busy, and I was doing great work. I mean, I did the last 2 covers of All Hands magazine. I ended up doing the most covers ever. I ended up doing the most feature stories ever of anybody that's ever been there. And then it all came to an end. I mean, it's like basically got new chief, new leadership, and they all came in with, they, I guess, knew my name, and it was like from then on, my career went to shit. And it was basically, I knew what was happening. I got pulled from everything. They moved my seat. They moved my responsibilities. They clamped down on everything that I did and have done. That's when I broke down and had my episodes, because I went from being on top of the world to nothing.